Hi, I'm Kathleen Regan. I'm currently based in New York City and lived in Pittsburgh for about 10 years.
And I'm Barracchini. I'm actually the director of Godless Children, our film that we did together. And I'm actually from Pittsburgh, but originally from Beaver, Pennsylvania.
I actually started out as an actor, and I did acting in college in upstate Pennsylvania. And long story, moved to Pittsburgh, fell back in love with theater. The theater industry network here is amazing. And started to get into the film and the film network here, and the people and just the talent here from a crew and everything like that was just amazing. So I fell back in love with everything and met this guy, and the rest is history.
Oh man, all downhill from there.
Well,
no. For me, it's something that's just kind of like always been a little bit of a love for me, just seeing how cameras work, or like seeing the picture being made. Even like home videos I had, like, you know, my mom's filming us doing whatever. It could be vacations and things like that. And I'd always be the kid, like you'd see my hand come up on the camera and just be like, can I see? Because I wanted to see the other side.
Godless Children feature film, and it is a dramatic thriller, and it is a story about a woman that gets a knock on her door, essentially saying that this teenage girl is her daughter, and the woman is infertile, so it cannot be that. However, the woman starts to see little clues and pick up things, so they go on this journey together to find out if they are related, and it takes them down some dark places and some nefarious people, and ends up surprising.
I was looking for somebody that could potentially like bounce ideas off of, maybe like be a stenographer, like just take down what like I could dictate to them. Luckily, I ran into Kathleen and we got to talking, and I was like, you know, I'm looking to write, and she's like, oh, I love to take notes. I was like, perfect.
Of course, my friends say later, he really thought you were going to be quiet and just take notes, like with my personality, like you didn't know me that well.
That's how you started out. You're like, yeah, I'll just listen.
Just take notes.
What was our objective with Godless Children? And that was to be like the calling card. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily like saying like, this is the type of film we're going to make, in the sense of like, we're doing this genre or something like that. It was more of like, this is what we can do. Like, we met our goals, we met our timeline, we produced this on our own, basically.
I personally wanted to speak to women. There's a reason we have the two lead characters, Titi and Heather, as a married couple, is as a woman, I don't think, I know women don't share enough about what's going on with them biologically with other women. Not to our best friends, not to our sisters, not to our moms, and to your wife. You know, I mean, when you're dealing with something that big, like the Titi's dealing with in the movie, a history of infertility and all this stuff, you can't share it with your wife. I mean, that's the closest, you would think that that's the closest relationship. And I really wanted to speak to women to say, you know, we should talk about this more.
But it mostly focuses around relationships and how, like Kathy's talking about, like communication or love or lack of love. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of something that we wanted to hit on for sure. I mean, there's a lot of different thematic elements or different things that we use to tell that story, little devices we use. But really, it's about how people are in relationships or fall in and out of love, or, you know, lack of, that lead to decisions that can impact not only yourself but people around you, or your decisions impact someone else's life. It's making you think. It's making you have a reaction to it. If you come out of the film and nothing happened, then I've failed as a filmmaker. And we tell this to anybody that will listen, is like, Pittsburgh's the place where you can literally do anything. And even on other big productions that have come into town, I've heard a lot of people who come in are like, wow, you really never realized like the topography here, or like the amount of things that you can do here. You can get everything but a beach, but even so, you could do a beach in a sound studio. So really, you can do anything. You've got mountains, you got hills, you got
farms,
bridges,
city.
Tunnels, city, rural, urban, a little bit of everything. So that already helps you out.
Especially as an independent filmmaker, you can do a downtown coffee shop and a suburban neighborhood in one day.
And we did.
So we did 3 locations, I think was the most in one day. But like, you can do that here, where in other areas outside Pittsburgh, you have to travel too far to get that feel. Not in Pittsburgh. the Pittsburgh businesses are so open to letting you film there. Now we did have insurance, which I think I got the connection off of your website. We had, like, Kelly's is prominent in ours. We did our proof of concept there. You know, we said, hey, you can call as a reference Kellyo. We did the proof of concept. Here's our insurance. Or, hey, we have a connection to your site because of Rutherford Acres. We have a connection. This is why we'd love to use it. And people were willing to just open their place, give us a key. Give us the code, and we were just like, okay, you know, I don't know if I trust me, no, but it was, they were just, everyone in Pittsburgh is so willing to be a part of it in any way they can, that it was just really amazing to see.
One other thing we like to do, just like giving back to the community, is kind of not necessarily, you know, through the film, like see your name. Like obviously we're advertising all these local businesses in the film, whether it's Kellyo's or Rutherford Market or all the different pharmacies, Gasoline Street Coffee that we were at for a coffee shop as well.
Coffee.
Great place to go. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
But the thing is that is how we work with the community as well. And we kind of talked about it a little bit about locations and cleaning up after yourself and not, you know, blacklisting or blackballing a location to then make it hard for someone else. And that kind of gives back to your community, because that goes back to the other filmmakers coming up or other people that might use it or the community itself, because then they're going to look at filmmaking as be like, it's not intrusive, it was cool, like these people were great, they really handled my business or my home well, and I'll gladly, you know, let them use it. And so that was something that we wanted to do as well, is make sure that whatever we do positively impacts for not only ourselves and makes ourselves look good and professional, and so that we can come back again, but also for everyone else.
I think it's always important, though, for filmmakers to realize that, like, what we tried and didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like this is our first idea and we went and did it and blah, 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 you know, like, it's like, no, we tried different things and it didn't work and we put it down, and we went one route for marketing, that didn't work. Okay, well, let's try something else, you know, how to write the script, well, that doesn't work, you know, so I think it's important to know that.
Look to people like us that are maybe trying out for their first feature and moving on forward, even though, you know, we have different levels of experience, we're able to do it. And it's because of help from people like the film office or the local businesses or things like that that helped guide us on the way, but we need to invest more in that. And I think above all that, have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
Like, seriously, because...
Oh, we forgot that.
Well, yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, true. No. The thing is that you're going to be hit with so much, and it's going to want to knock you down, like, constantly, especially at a lower level where you don't have a lot of budget, you don't have a lot of necessarily big resources. You're going to have so many roadblocks, and a lot of people either aren't going to produce that film, or it's going to get kicked down the road. Just have fun. Like, remember why you're doing this. Like, remember what made you want to do this, and kind of invest yourself in that. If I had known these things, or if somebody had told me, it would have been great. You know, I would have learned or had to step up. And so it's like, send the elevator back down. Let people know what you learned. You know, and that's kind of why we do. You know, hopefully this talk contributes a little bit of that as well. But, you know, what we can do to kind of spread that knowledge and help people out as much as we can, we want to do it.